So I really like Dragapult, and Dragapult's really, I didn't realize this till just now, but Dragapult's really diverse in what it can do. Like, it has a ton of moves that it can learn, and because it's special attack and attack are close enough, and the way they made him, he could be either special or physical, and you wouldn't know really until he attacks. And plus he gets Dragon Dance. So this is the Dragapult that I like to run, honestly, which is, I feel like it's more of a more niche Dragapult, but the whole point of him is to pretty much Dragon Dance and survive a hit, and then you have a bunch of attacking moves after. He's bulky enough to where he can survive like super powerful, super effective hits. He can survive most hits. The only thing that does suck is you could also replace this with Citrus Berry, depending on what you want to do, because you could get screwed and they could do like 60%, so that you could have like 40% health and not get the berry, which kind of sucks. So you could also run Citrus Berry just for the guaranteed heal. Just depending on what you get hit with, you'll drop under 50 almost guaranteed, especially with no bulk investment. But this is the moves I like to run: is Dragon Dance, Psychic Fangs. Dragon Darts is really good because it destroys. Dragon Darts is really good because it pretty much ignores focus sashes, because you hit it the first hit and either you break the sash or you just do over 50% and the second hit KOs them. So it's really good. Phantom Force is, I don't understand why he didn't get Shadow Claw. It's as simple as that. I feel like they did it for balancing, even though he should have learned Shadow Claw, because he learns Dragon Claw. I don't know why he didn't. Shadow Claw would have been really good. Phantom Force is only really good if, it's only really good if you Dynamax. Otherwise, it's not that great, because they can just switch into a normal type or something that resists it, and that's it. And it's kind of a waste. It does hit through Protect and stuff. It hits through Protect and King's Shield and all that, so it's decent. But I would personally run Acrobatics, just because you're getting the double damage and if you do Dynamax, you get the speed. Doesn't really matter, but you get the double damage because of the berry. For his abilities, though, he also gets two really good abilities in Clear Body and Infiltrator. I think Clear Body is better for the physical one, or the physical in general, and especially Dragon Dance, so you can't get intimidated. They can't lower your speed or anything. But I also think Infiltrator is really good because it just ignores, you could set up a Dragon Dance and they could use sub thinking they're safe, or Reflect or Light Screen or whatever, and you just ignore it. So that's really good. Yeah, and then there's Special Dragapult, which Dragapult has way better special coverage than physical coverage, which I feel like they did that to balance him in a way by giving him a lower special attack but way better special attack moves. But this is probably the best way, is Dragon Pulse and Shadow Ball for the coverage, and then Flamethrower, or for the stab, those two, and then Flamethrower and Thunderbolt for the coverage, because he gets all the pseudo dragon or pseudo legendary moves. Almost every pseudo legendary that's at least has decent special attack gets Flamethrower. He doesn't get Ice Beam, but he gets Flamethrower, Thunderbolt. He gets Surf and Scald, and he also gets Flame Burst, Hydro Pump, and Thunder. So he gets really good coverage. You could run either Speedy Nature or Modest. You could either run Timid or Modest. Just depends on what you want, because Barraskewda has a high chance of KOing you if he's adamant. Or I think if he's banded, he has a high chance of KOing you. But if he's, I think it depends. If you want to outspeed, if you want to be the fastest thing, pretty much you want Timid. But if you don't really care that much about the speed, then you could run Modest, because he kind of needs the damage a little bit, considering he kind of needs the damage a little bit, which kind of sucks, especially with the Life Orb taking your health away. So yeah, I think these are the best move coverage-wise, but he also gets Draco Meteor. You could also run Specs. Some people like running Specs. I've seen Scarf Dragapult, which I don't know why. There's no point. Scarf Dragapult, I think, is Specs, but worse, because you do less damage. It doesn't matter once you get that fast. With a Speedy Nature, you outspeed everything that doesn't get a +1 or is Scarfed. So I don't see why you would run. I think there are better Pokemon to run a Scarf with instead of Dragapult, but Specs is good. I don't like Specs and bans, or Specs, bans, and Scarf that much, because you get locked into a move. Same with, it's not bad though. You could run Choice Band with Outrage, because they both, it doesn't really matter because you're already locked in Outrage. But Specs is good. He also gets Draco Meteor, but it lowers your special attack. Like, it's a good nuke move, or if you Dynamax, Draco Meteor is good. And he gets Fire Blast, Hydro Pump, which are also really good if you Dynamax, and Thunder here. And Thunder, which are really good. Since they all have low accuracy, they're really good with Dynamax because they have high base power. Scald if you don't want to deal with the accuracy and get the chance of burn, and for the plus chance of burn. He also gets, I also said Mental Herb for the Dragon Dance set. If you're really worried about Taunt, you could do that. Or Encore, because that Encore really shuts that down. If they predict that, Encore makes it so you literally can't do anything, so it's good to stop that and Taunt. Especially from like, but I don't know, I don't know why you would stay in on like Grimmsnarl or something, because that's not a good matchup. Grimmsnarl just destroys you completely, especially with Sucker Punch, and he is immune to Dragon and resist Ghost. But he also gets Hexed. If you have Toxic Spikes, or they have some sort of status, Hex is really good. It does more damage than Shadow Ball. Solar Beam, it's good if you Dynamax, that's about it. Surf if you want more damage over Scald. And I like running Acrobatics, but if you're not running a Berry, Acrobatics is useless. He gets Baton Pass, but I think there are better Baton Pass users than him. If you want to Dragon Dance Baton Pass, I think there are better users than him. Double Edge for just damage, but the recoil, and then Outrage. I think if you're going to use like the whole point, like Dragon Dance Outrage does a lot if you know they don't have anything left to resist it. Like Dragon Dance is better, or Outrage is better. I wouldn't run Dragon Claw because Dragon Claw is literally just a worse Dragon Darts, and it can't break sashes. That's the only thing about Outrage too, other than being locked into it, is sashes kind of ruin it. And he also gets Sucker Punch, but he's so fast. I don't know why you would. It's not really worth it to me, Sucker Punch, because he's so fast. It's like, what's the point of, you have priority, but oh well. Bright Powder is also, it's just, I like Bright Powder honestly, just as like, you don't know what item to put on, just put Bright Powder. You have that 1 in 10 chance of just, you could win the battle off of them missing because of Bright Powder. He also gets Will-O-Wisp, the typical ghost thing, and Thunder Wave. Will-O-Wisp has less accuracy, but it halves their attack stat, so that could be the big difference in like just shutting down a physical attacker. Thunder Wave, they could get paralyzed and it slows them down, but you're already so fast. It won't really affect Dragapult, it would affect whatever comes in after Dragapult. And you could also run Will-O-Wisp, or Thunder Wave is a good like last move for something you can't deal with instead of Phantom Force. But also you learn Steel Wing to deal with fairies, but at the same time, I wouldn't leave them in on fairies. I mean, you could run, yeah, I think you could run Steel Wing as that last move instead of Phantom Force, just in case they switch in a fairy, because you don't want to be you don't want to set up Dragon Dance and then be completely useless. Grimmsnarl counters them hard though because of Sucker Punch, stuff like that. But like, you would want something against the Alcremie or something, at least to do some good damage even if you don't KO. But that's Dragapult. He's really diverse. Like, you don't know what to expect with him. There's a lot of different ways Dragapult can be run, especially because you don't know if he's physical or special. And if you think he's special, you bring in a special wall, they Dragon Dance, you're in trouble. If you think he's physical and then he lights you up with a Life Orb super effective hit, you're in trouble. Because 100 isn't that bad, especially with the 142 speed. He's literally, I think, the 3rd fastest non-legendary in the whole game, behind, yeah, Ninjask and Aselgor. He's the 3rd fastest non-legendary. And then Barraskewda is the closest behind him, but he's a whole 6th. Barraskewda would have to be Jolly to outspeed Dragapult, and Dragapult would have to be without a speed nature. So, and even then, Barraskewda isn't even guaranteed to one-shot, and I'm pretty sure Thunderbolt, Life Orb Thunderbolt should one-shot Barraskewda. That's one thing Dragapult has of being a pseudo-legendary, is that it has decent defense. Like, it is not just a glass cannon. So that's Dragapult. I think he gets the job done, but I don't know. I don't know. He's good. I wish he would have had Shadow Claw. I feel like that was just a nerf. A way to keep him from being too good at Shadow Claw. I hope he gets Shadow Claw in the DLC though.